Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it has been probably like 9 weeks since I've done consistent shows, but I'm back here on the Unscripted Podcast with our lovely two hosts today. We got Brittany, yes, our queen, and we got Gerard joining us for the first time tonight.
Nice to meet everybody.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Unscripted. What's up? What's up?
How is everybody?
I hope everyone's good. Honestly, listen, I'm just going to say this. Mercury is in Gatorade, I think. And
Retrograde.
I know everyone says it's retrograde. It's Gatorade because everybody is a little crazy right now. I need everyone to just take a universal breath.
A woosah.
Big one. It'll be fine.
Deep breath.
Guys, this is Gerard.
Nice to meet everybody.
He's in finance.
Yes.
And MVP is here another week. We missed you. Of course. So let's do this. We're gonna go over the news, guys. We're gonna jump right into it. Sam, which camera am I at? This one? That one? Oh, I like that. All right, guys. So the Fulton County Judge Earl Glanville recused from, is that how you say it? Young Thug and the YSL trial. Whoever has been following this, kudos to you because I can't keep up, but I think Gerard has some info on it.
The judge is a woman, right?
I think. Is she not? I don't
There
know.
was a woman judge in the beginning of the trial.
Do they
But does anybody know why they dismissed the judge?
All right, so I'm going to put the mic on. Give me 1 second.
Sam's putting a mic on, guys. He's going to give us the details because I actually want to know, why is he on trial right now?
Because they're saying he's the head of a criminal enterprise.
Yeah, RICO
the
case.
Bloods in Atlanta.
Yeah. So what
Really?
happened currently is that the judge that they had on trial, they asked him to be recused, and they are rightfully so because one of the people that they had testifying, basically, you know, they're supposed to have the criminal and the defense attorney both speak to the you know, the guests or whatever, and they had like a secret meeting with just the prosecutor and the judge, and Young Thug's attorney was not allowed to be there, but he ended up finding out. So he's like, yo, how did you know, find out about this? And it's like, bro, you're being shady right now. This is illegal. You can't.
Yeah.
That's against the law.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So what happened was they ended up saying, okay, it's time for you to go, blah, blah, blah. And you know, rightfully so, man. Like, I understand if you feel like he's guilty, but as being a judge in any case, you should not have any bias. Like, you should be like,
Yeah,
yep,
you gotta
I'm
be
done. And it's
in the middle. You can't be on any
Pretty
side.
much.
Well, personally, I think there is a lot of bias in the case. I think that Young Thug's being railroaded by the law right now. He's a
What do you
young,
mean railroaded?
because he's a young, successful black entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
We all know they
Yeah.
don't like to see young black men
Doing well.
making money.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real here. And also, he was gonna buy a big. He bought like 100 acres of land, or I think more, in Atlanta, outside of Atlanta, and he was gonna make it call it Slimeville, like a whole town called Slimeville. And do you think the white lawmakers in Atlanta want to see a place called Slimeville in their state? No. And that's where they locked the guy up.
Wow.
So I think he's being railroaded by the law right now, quite honestly.
Does he have is there any I hate you. Is there any concrete evidence of like what he's done? Do we think?
Apparently they have a little bit of evidence. Some guy that ended up getting shot, I don't know if they killed him, was driving a car that was rented by Young Thug.
Okay.
But Young Thug probably has like 30 people around him. Probably rents cars to people all the time.
Exactly.
So who's to say that he had something to do with the actual killing?
You should be a
When
lawyer.
he's got
That was
like 30
actually really
people
good.
around them at all times.
Yeah, that's true. Guys, Young Thug's lawyer is right here. We're
Yeah,
recording live.
I'm the new lawyer for Young Thug. If anybody needs a lawyer.
All right, so let's prayers for Young Thug. Next.
Young Slime. Free the slime.
Next in news, last words of the hero firefighter who died at the Trump rally has been revealed. He said, "Get down," before he was shot and killed. which is
Yes.
very sad. I don't know. This whole situation is rough.
Have you been following the situation? Because I have very closely.
Yeah, I have. Not closely, but I have. And I think that, I don't know. It's just sad that that was even contemplated. I don't know. I also like the pictures of like when Trump like kind of moved his hat a little bit. That was like, I don't know. Part of me, I'm not gonna lie, thought that it was like, oh, this is like fake news. But now that this guy like died, I know someone died.
Yes.
But now finding that out, that's
One person died, and there's 2 or 3 people in the hospital.
Well, it's really a miracle that Trump didn't get killed. If you watch the way he turned his head at that exact moment, the bullet would have hit the back of his head, but it went around, hit him right in the ear.
in the ear and stuff.
Which is like a miracle of God. He had a guardian angel, somebody looking after him.
So but the shooter, right? The shooter was killed.
The shooter was a crazy white dude. And we're finding out today that the Secret Service had them in his eyesight for at least an hour.
Oh, they did?
Yes.
Yeah, and people were like telling him like, "Hey, there's a suspicious guy."
Yes, there was
over there, and the cops were like, "Shut up."
Yeah, there was a whole There was a whole crowd of people saying "shooter on the roof, shooter on the roof" to all the local police who were in charge of that section.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of like playing dumb. Apparently, one of the cops climbed up the ladder, and the shooter turned his gun on him, and then he went down the ladder.
Oh my God.
And they didn't send any more police up. They didn't say, "Oh, shooter on the roof, get Trump out of there." Nothing, because they obviously wanted to see Trump get killed.
Yeah.
First, they put him in jail, and then what do they do if they can't silence you after that?
They try and
they
kill
try
you.
and
Speak
kill
on
you.
it, brother!
And that's
Like-
what happened to Trump. That's what happened to a lot of great leaders like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Same thing.
Regardless
They
of
couldn't-
like
they couldn't
feelings
silence
towards the man, like
Right,
you,
right.
you, nobody should have their life taken.
No.
When they're trying to be an authentic leader, like he's not like some malicious dictator. He might have his own motives and things like that, and people have their opinion about him. But the things I've heard about the Secret Service, one, because he's a former president, his details a little less, but because he's an active candidate, like you still need high profile security.
100%.
The Secret Service's job is to protect him.
Well-
The police department's job is for crowd control. And with technology nowadays, where the fuck were drones?
Yep.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Where we're going. Exactly.
That's actually true, yeah.
Well, they had his. If you see when he came up and did that fist pump, after he got shot, that won him the election, in my opinion. And they said he barreled through like 6 Secret Service officers just to do that fist pump. And one of the officers that they had in charge of Trump, no offense to women or
She
short
was
women,
fumbling
but
the
she was
gun.
like 5'5" and Trump's like 6'5". How was she jumping in front of a bullet for Trump?
Yeah.
And then you see he had a lot of women's security. Nothing against women's security, but I just think some jobs are done better by men. Like the one woman couldn't even put the gun back in the holster. And these are the people you have protecting our potential future president? It's ridiculous.
Maybe she was flustered.
Irregardless, your top dogs need to be the security for these two guys.
Not
Like,
people that can't reholster their guns.
yeah.
Jeez. Fair points here.
The last thing I guess to add to it, like people said at the RNC that the air of humility, is now in his speech, and like if a close call to death, you change your message to maybe something that does embody both sides in a better light, because that's it. My political issues that there's been points I've seen, neither one of them, like we have 80 billion, 300 million people in this country, and you got a guy that has 1 foot in the grave, and then I find that he double talks a lot.
Joe Biden?
What do you mean?
No, that I feel that Trump double talks a lot, and Joe Biden doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Well,
As
I agree.
economics, I'm with Trump. As
All
a business owner, yes, I just feel the way his delivery sometimes
It's a little rough.
could be less abrasive and have a different, and that's what I heard
I
on
think he needs
Wednesday.
to repeat himself, quite honestly, because no offense to there's obviously normal-minded liberals in the world, but some of these liberals are absolutely out of their mind, saying, "Oh, I wish Trump would have got killed," or
No,
like,
see,
I
that's
was
horrible.
talking to some libs last night. I'm not gonna mention any names, but they were like,
Joe.
"Oh, the firefighter actually wasn't a good person. Who cares if he got killed?" I'm still like, "Well, he's still a human being. He still was a firefighter who saved lives."
Yeah. That's true.
It'd be
They have Trump derangement
sorry.
syndrome. Anything they hear about Trump, they're gonna believe it.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. They're trying to make this guy out to be Hitler.
And a lot
he
of
was the
peop-
president for 4 years. Have any of us gone to internment camps? No.
All
next?
right, so what's next is what was the loud boom in New Jersey, New York on Tuesday? Fireball, sonic boom?
I don't know. I didn't hear it.
I didn't hear
live in New
shit.
Jersey.
Are we at 5 minutes?
Yes.
I
we're
didn't
at
hear
10.
shit. So I don't know what happened. I might have been sleeping. I don't know. But it was a meteor. What the hell was that?
What time of night was it? Excuse me.
I don't know. What time was it? Do you know,
It was
Samuel?
in the afternoon.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Maybe I was taking my nap. I don't know. That's crazy.
This girl naps every day.
Imagine you had a...
She's a serial napper.
I have no time for naps, but I don't understand. I'm kidding. But that's a little much. That's a little...
I didn't hear it, honestly. But,
Yeah.
for all you know, it could have been gunshots. It could have been them testing bombs out. You don't know. It could have. It was the 4th of July recently. It could have been a half stick of dynamite they lit off. I remember when we were
That's
young kids, we used to
true.
light up quarter stick of dynamite, half stick of dynamite. I think quarter was the max. Actually, I don't think we did half stick.
I was like half. Isn't that like illegal?
But a quarter stick of dynamite, we used to
That's-
have those back in the day with the
Of course,
blockbusters
yeah.
and the mortars. Maybe it was a mortar. Who knows?
it was something,
it,
but
it
we're
happened
all alive.
between 11:16 and 11:20. The sighting, you can see it from Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens, and northern New Jersey.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see exactly where it landed.
Sounds a little rough.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, guys. We're going to talk about our topic today. So our topic today is relocating for love. Cue a great song. Okay, great MVP. So with that being said, we have Gerard here. He's going to talk to us a little bit about that.
Oh, you want to talk about my love?
Because, okay, calm down. Naya, give us a second. The reason is because Mike the dog. This guy's getting down. Okay, so relocating for love. There's so much that can kind of go into it. It's either like, are you making a huge mistake, or are you making an investment? So let's just turn the tables to Gerard. I have my own feelings. MVP, did you want to share your feelings on relocating for love yet? Or?
So, about 3 years ago, I met someone that lived in a foreign country, but basically from like the beginning of this,
Which country?
she was from Brazil,
Okay.
and from the beginning of this relationship starting, there was never going to be a relocation. Like she was never moving here, I was never moving there. It was more just like of an intimate affair, and neither one of us were obligated to anyone. So we
Those
went on
sounds
a couple.
fun.
Casual.
Yeah, we went on
Casual's
a couple
nice.
of exotic vacations. We communicated regularly, and then it came to the point where it's like, for me, I was like, I need to move forward with my life, and it definitely, there was heartbreak there, but it wasn't like, oh man, like I really thought she was gonna move here, and or she was trying to move here to get a visa or whatever it may be. So
I've dated women in other countries multiple times. 3 times, we'll call it 2.5.
3 times later. I'm
One
sorry.
of the women just ended up being real ruthless, real gold digger like.
ooh.
But that was only like 3 months of my life, so it wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then the relationship I'm in now, it's long distance. It's not easy. It's not for the weak-hearted, I'll tell you that. Especially in another country, because you're dealing with visas. It's not like, oh, I'm busy in New York with work. I could
Yeah.
just buy my girl a plane ticket. She could just come fly up here.
Yeah.
I got to go through immigration. I paid an immigration attorney. You got to get visas. It takes
So
at least.
let's take a step back. Let's start from the beginning.
Right.
Thank you for sharing your story, MVP.
Thank you.
So you go on vacation to Colombia. Like, how did this start? How did your love story start?
Well, I went to Colombia like my first time 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
Really liked the country.
Mm-hmm.
And then the coronavirus hit in 2020.
Ruined our lives, yeah.
And I was like just praying to the Lord, please send me a Colombian wife. Like I bought a Colombian woman.
Yeah.
And then I met my ex-wife we were both on Tinder, but then we met through Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Like I DM'd her on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it was like instant love.
Mm-hmm.
We were together like over 2 years, like living together within like a few weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like,
Wait, were you still in Colombia at this point, or no?
No, this is
Or just
here.
you're
I met her here.
Oh, you
Yeah,
met her here.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was like instant love,
Mhm.
and then like the relationship kind of got messed up. Not to give you guys a long story of my relationship.
We want the long story, baby. We got an hour. Oh, wow.
But things just started getting real bad. Like, we started fighting a lot and stuff. She tried to kill herself.
Oh, wow.
Long story.
Wait, and he's laughing. You see that? This is why women breathe, okay? So let me ask you a question. So you meet someone so you meet her, the first wife, and
Yes.
you guys move in 2 weeks, 3 weeks after knowing each
She
other?
moved in with me within like a month. 6
What are
months
your
max.
thoughts on that? Like, is there a time frame, like a proper time frame of like moving in with somebody?
After my last experience, I think you should probably at least wait a few months. At
Yeah.
least.
Like 6 months?
Probably at least. I think at least 6 is
6 is like a
appropriate,
good. How do you feel about that?
I think there should be a gestation period where like you're at each other's place for a while. You know,
Right.
not
Like you
just
see
like
how they live and
Yeah.
like what
Well,
they do.
that's the way it was. We were together every night to the point where I was like, why don't you just move in? We're together every night. And the first year of the relationship was like great. It was like kind of like the honeymoon stage. But then like that second year, we kind of started getting little fights that just start escalating. And then eventually I ended up getting divorced.
Oh my God. But what, I mean, like, so just to go, like, kind of go back into it, like,
Okay.
what do you feel like, did something, like, she didn't tie the bread thing right? It pissed you off?
She taught great bread, and I taught her all the family recipes too.
Oh my God.
She cooked eggplant palm.
Did she
chicken
put,
palm,
did she not put
everything.
the cap back on the toothpaste? Like, what
No.
was it that was like, you know what? This is pissing me off. And then it was like the little
was
thing.
she just toxic? Did she not let things
Was she
go?
toxic? Yeah, manipulative? Like, what was
A
it?
little manipulative. I don't like to talk bad about people.
Of course.
but,
I was going to say, I was like,
I
what do you
would
want to talk about?
say the way I am, it kind of seems the way you are. Like if you're in a kind of like a
You don't know me, buddy.
no, but you seem like you're hot.
Honey.
You seem like you're like a hot, like what do you call it? A live wire like me. So like, I have a certain look. Like if I'm in a bad mood, like and you're like with me, especially if you're with me every day. Like, if I'm in like a bad mood, you could just take one look at my face and just know like
Something's up.
just leave me alone for a little while. Just leave me alone for like an hour or two. I'll be all right in like an hour or two. I'll be just back to my
You
normal
bounce
self.
back, yeah.
But she always loved to start fights with me when I was in that kind of a bad mood. So we got in some bad fights. I learned to mind my words better since that relationship.
That's
Like
good.
I did a lot of self work.
Good.
Since I got divorced to
Okay.
be ready for my next relationship. But things just progressively started getting worse. Till eventually we got divorced. And then I told her, listen, I said, I don't need you. I'll just go to Colombia. I'll go to Colombia and get a new wife whenever I want.
Jesus Christ.
I thought it was going to be easy, honestly. I thought it was going to be easy.
God damn it! If it's that easy, what the hell have I been? This is.
No, it's not
Said,
easy.
you know they're on sale, damn it. Don't do it.
You know, it's buy two get one. I don't need your ass.
And they give you a free kilo with
I
every
mean,
wife.
hello. You can't be that.
It actually wasn't easy at all, to be honest.
I know. I'm like, it's definitely not easy, but.
Because I went to March. That's when I met. When I went there like the whole month of March, and then that's when I met the other woman I was telling you about. We kind of dated for like 3 months. But it's hard because like every time I want to see my woman, I have to go to Colombia. Like it's not cheap, especially
rough.
me. I'm not staying in cheap places. I'm not eating
You
at
gotta go
cheap
somewhere
restaurants.
nice.
I got everything's got to be high end. So it was kind of difficult. So then the whole entire last year, I was just going to Colombia looking for my next wife.
So,
'Cause-
like, okay, so,
Because
like.
I just like Colombia women. Like I don't know. I think my ex-wife put a hex on me. Like I only wanted a Colombian woman at the moment.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have a question. So, yeah, okay. So, a few things to unpack here. Let's go back. What are like, aside from like, I need to watch my words, what are like 2 other things that you learned from this relationship? Like, I should have done that. Like, I could have done that.
I would say like my doctor told me, think twice and then speak.
You mean your therapist or your doctor?
No, like my real doctor.
Oh,
We're very
he's one of
cool.
those. Oh, we're close.
Like, you know, I go there every like 2-3 months to get blood work and stuff.
Oh,
Just
that's
my
good.
normal doctor. He
But you
said-
were like talking to him about
Yeah.
like this. Okay.
we're just like kind of like friendly with each other.
What did he say?
He said like we say in India, think twice and then speak.
Oh,
So that's like one of the
okay.
things I learned. Like, if
Oh,
you're-
that's good.
If you're
Okay.
angry and you want to say something bad to somebody, think twice and then speak. After you
I think it's
that
easier to
twice,
do with text messages
probably hold
than
it back.
actually my words sometimes. Like I have to like bite my tongue, but like I'll start typing and then I'll slow down. I'll take that breath and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to say all that. Delete.
I'm gonna be so mean
I'm
if
gonna
I
be the
say
bigger
that.
person here. Like, let me just not say nothing.
Yeah.
Like my mom used to say, if you don't got nothing to say, then don't say nothing.
Right.
And you know, my mom is crazy. She was always saying mean stuff. That's why. That's why.
If you don't have
It's
anything
easy
nice
to
to say, don't
than
say
put
anything
into
at
action.
all. Okay,
What
so
else?
that. What else? You're
Um,
telling me you're like perfect? Yeah, I mean,
No, well, like I said, cause we would fight, but like the way my mom was, she was hot blooded Sicilian. She would like if you started a fight with her, she was finishing it, but she was coming back at you way more vicious. So that's kind of like the way it's been. But now I'm a lot more calmer. Like I've learned to calm. My dad's very calm and zen, so I've been doing a lot more
channeling father.
Yeah.
Dad, come to me. Now let me ask you a question.
I've been
Are
doing
you
meditation and things like that.
so? Sam is laughing at me. Let me ask you a question. So, I feel like a lot of men, their relationship with their mother has a big effect on the females that they choose.
It's true.
So, do you feel like your relationship with like your mom had an effect on like? Did you feel like certain things she was doing was like triggering that you were like, oh my god, this makes me think of this, which made me feel like this, and then like blah blah blah. Like, what do you think?
Not really, but I just have a very hot temper because that's the way she was.
Got it.
And she was
That
the
might be
sweetest
it.
woman, but you just don't want to mess with her. She would fight grown ass men.
I want to
God.
interject real quick.
This is intense.
I want to interject
the
real
nicest
quick.
woman, R.I.P. to her
Have you
mom.
guys check the prompter real quick? Because
What?
supposedly there's
Oh,
some
look.
comments coming in, and
Oh God.
people
there
want
are?
to share their
Here comes the
insight.
hate. Here comes
No.
What up, haters? What's up? Is that chocolate queen Oh my god. Goodbye. Josh has free time for us finally. Awesome.
Oh, he's on. He's watching.
Yeah, he needs Jesus. So let me
Nice
ask you a
of you to
question.
join us.
Okay, let's go on. So
Sure. Go
now
ahead.
you're like, all right, this is not gonna work. Like, what do you think was the triggering or like most important part of your mind where you're like, okay, this is literally not gonna work? Because a lot of times I feel like in toxic relationships or relationships that we know aren't gonna work, you have like a gut feeling, and then you kind of like wait on that, and you wait. Were you just like immediately like, I feel this, I know that this woman is not for me, or like,
Well, we started fighting like a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then one day she wanted to see my phone. I was like,
oh.
So I said, all right, see my phone. I want to see yours. So we exchanged phones. And I went on her Instagram.
I'm worried.
And
I'm starting to sweat. This is like
I
a
saw
horrible.
that she had 2 Instagrams. And I kind of had a feeling she either had 2 Instagrams or she used to like hide stuff from me. Because I would look over, like for example, if we were like just laying in bed together, I'd look over and be like, alguien le gusta tu historia. And in Spanish it means somebody liked your story. So I said,
I'm learning.
I don't see no stories. I'm like, either she's hiding the stories from me or she got another Instagram. So when she asked to look at my phone and I saw hers, I was like, I went right to the Instagram. So she had 2 Instagrams, and she was just posting thirst traps.
Fraud!
Any dude that wanted to speak to her, it could be an ugly dude, short, fat, old, tall, didn't matter. She was giving them the time of the day. She would take like 3 hours at the gym.
Sam, what was that?
Don't say that. I want to hear.
Jesus.
Nobody heard that.
Wait, what? She was at the gym all day
She would
long?
go to the gym for like 3 hours instead of an hour. Like I just started feeling like something was up. So then when I found all this stuff, I broke up with her. I said, I don't want to be with you no more.
Now, I have a question. Did she find anything in your phone?
No, she didn't, because I was being a very good boy, and I live with her every day. So how it,
Someone record this. This is the first time in history a female has gone into a cell phone with nothing to report. That's amazing. Wow. That's awesome. Okay. That's good that you were being
But
good.
then she tried to kill herself, and then
Oh, madam.
I had a feeling she was trying to try to kill herself. She took a scissor and literally tried to stab herself in the stomach.
Oh,
I
wow.
caught the scissor, and she like was trying still to stab herself.
Push it.
And I ripped the scissor out of her hand finally, and blood was like everywhere. And I was like, fuck.
On
I
her or
said,
you?
"Fuck," there was just
On her
blood
side,
all over
right.
her, all over the floor.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it was her hand, so I took like a shirt, and like I calmed her down. I took the scissor away, bandaged her up. She went for stitches the next day, but then we kind of worked things out. So like a few months later, things were all right. And then one day I got home from work. She was mad I didn't start the immigration paperwork yet, because I just had a weird feeling we were kind of fighting a lot. And then I get home one day, she's pissed off about the immigration stuff. We just went and got a bank account together.
Oh.
We needed some photo. I said, listen, no offense, but I'm worried about making money right now and survival and things like that. I'm not thinking about a photo for immigration. No offense. So if we need a photo, just remind me.
Right.
Like we were at Stop and Shop and Staples was right across the street a week before that.
We could take a picture.
We could have went right to Staples across the street. But she didn't remind me. And then I get home from work one day.
And she's pissed.
Screaming at me, attacked me.
No.
Yeah. And then I just ended the whole relationship.
I mean.
And she moved out.
It seems like the imbalance in there. It's like obviously she needed you more than you needed her.
Yeah.
Her goal. I mean, I'm not saying that there wasn't love there.
Yeah.
But ultimately to get citizenship or whatever, get the immigration paperwork or have citizenship, and then now having the external profile, it's like, oh well, I could move on to the next first white guy.
Which she did. She's already remarried.
Oh.
The guy who put her Range Rover, she's doing great after me.
Oh, congratulations to her.
But she was doing good when she was with me too. She had a good life.
Yeah, how about go fuck yourself still?
I actually saved her life. She had a bad bacteria called C. difficile. I don't know if you know what that is.
I've heard of C. diff.
It's called, she had C. diff and H. pylori because she would take care of an elderly woman who was very unsanitary. She didn't wash her hands.
That's a
She didn't like to
digestive
bathe.
thing, H. pylori, right?
What?
H. pylori is like a digestive
H.
tract?
pylori is more in your stomach. C. diff is more in your intestines, I
Okay.
believe. The C. diff is the more deadly one.
Gotcha.
And they misdiagnosed her, and then I got her health insurance, and brought her to like a real doctor, and then she got cured, went back to work and got it again, and the doctor was like, "I've never seen this in anybody less than 75 years old. I don't understand how you got it twice. You're like 23, 24 years old." And we said what she does for a living. And the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, you definitely got it from the elderly woman who's not sanitary, doesn't wash her
That
hands,
sucks.
doesn't
Ew.
take showers,
Oh.
like disgusting." So eventually she got a new job that I helped her get, and she made good money.
So I always have a.
There was real love at one
At
point,
one point.
but then the relationship just started getting worse and worse
Yeah.
over time. Yeah.
I have a thing where it doesn't matter who that you're with, like you always want to leave people better than you find them. And I've always been a big believer in that.
Yeah,
like
like that
even if my ex was he was a piece of shit, but like he's better than I found him right now because of me. But like, so that's something you should carry with you. Like, you know, you should feel good about yourself. But anyway, so now
Thank you for
relationship is over. All right,
Go ahead.
we're on the prowls. John wrote King of Columbia. Joshua Morrison said, sounds toxic as hell. Hold on one second.
What did he say?
John is writing
Sounds
more.
toxic.
Nope, no balance. John said that. I don't know if you know this guy. John Rampage. Hi, John. You're here every week.
John Rampage, yes, it rings a bell.
Johnny boy. Thank you. He comes every week. So let me ask you a question. So now you're like, all right, your house is back to one piece. You're like, I'm going to rock out to Colombia. So you're like, I'm going.
Well, I was extremely sad.
Okay.
So I said, I'm just going to go to Colombia and try to find me a new wife.
Like, so when you're like, let me go to Colombia. Like the visas, all that doesn't change. So like, did you, like you weren't like, let me go to Peru.
Because
like,
you're staying there more than 14 days. That's why
Because
you
like
need
I
the
said, I
visa.
think my ex-wife put a hex on me, and I only like.
Oh, you were like,
got
I wanna
a thing
be-
for Colombian women after.
I'm understanding. I'm understanding. Okay, so take me through that. So you're like, all right, I'm gonna go. Then you go.
So I went for the whole month of March, pretty much, in 23 of 23. Met a woman there. We went to the island. I was only supposed to go for a week. I ended up staying the whole month.
Jesus.
And then in October, I was there for like 3 weeks. I was hanging out with another girl. We went to San Andreas also. It's like a nice, beautiful little island over there. But she was too about her Instagram, too about her clout.
Is this the gold digger one?
No.
Oh, someone else.
The one that I met the first trip was the gold digger one.
Oh, okay.
This one was actually like a hard-working woman. Worked at a hospital. Very cool girl.
Shout out to you, baby. Hard working,
Shout out
baby.
to you, but you're probably not listening. And you don't even speak English. But shout out to you.
Holy. ¿Cómo se dice? Oh, let me stop. Anyway, okay.
But yeah, no, things were good with Sweetas, but she was just too much of like a clout chaser and always like taking pictures and just always wanted like attention, you know, like.
Was she like taking pictures for Instagram or like for the memories?
Yeah, for Instagram because she had a lot of followers and what do you call the other platform? Facebook.
TikTok?
No, Facebook.
Oh. They
And,
book their face. Sam
just
loves
always,
that app.
Always changing her profile photo, like just attention-seeking behavior. That's one of the things that I look for in like a woman person. I'm not really into women that seek attention too much.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you're in a relationship with them and you're having like a bad, let's say you get in a little fight, they got like 20 other guys in their message box. They just go right to them because they're always on it.
Not all girls will do that, but I understand if you're traumatized from that situation. Yeah. Okay. So
that's why I just kind of broke things off of her. I was like, I saw a red flag, so I let that go.
Okay.
We had a whole
Back
episode
in November, I went to Cartagena to meet this other woman that I had been speaking to through for a few weeks. I think we met through Bumble, one of the maps.
Mm-hmm. Cartagena.
I started noticing gold digging behavior in her as well.
So like what?
It's a long story that I can't really tell you on the air. I can give you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Give you the
But give me hold on.
PG version right now.
Great, you can give me the PG version. I want you to give us the PG version, but
X-rated later.
Oh, forget about it. But I just want to know for the listeners, like, what should we tell our listeners, like, what they should be looking out for? I mean, like, what are some gold digging
behaviors? Okay. They want to go to
Hey Sam, get out of my head. Thank you. Get out of my fucking head. God.
First off, if you want to test a woman for gold digging behavior, I don't know if you ever watched A Bronx Tale, the movie, when he gives her the door test.
Yeah.
I call this the mall test.
Oh, holy.
You bring the woman to the mall, and you say, listen, we're only going for this, and that. Like in my case, I was going for some pesos, the supermarket. I wanted to get her kid a little toy, and that was it. I told her we're out of here. I don't want to be in this mall spending money because I got problems going into malls. I end up buying clothes for myself. I'm gonna end up having to buy a whole nother luggage just to bring my new clothes home. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. And the girl she didn't even look into one store. I've never been with a Colombian woman, especially in the mall, and then not at least ask for a t-shirt or something. The woman didn't ask.
I would have been like, let's go to Sephora because I need a little redo my makeup.
This is why
case.
I don't date American women.
Oh, take it easy. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. If you can buy me a $10 lipstick, forget about it.
Oh, is that easy? All right.
Yeah. Don't worry about money. I got the money. All right. Continue.
Well,
so you went to the mall?
A lot of women with money these days think it's okay to cheat because they pay the bills.
What do you mean cheat?
That's a whole new thing with the modern
feminist
women. If they're the breadwinners, they feel like they have the right to cheat.
Well, they only got that from the men that had a lot of money and were cheating. So I don't know.
True.
Yeah, they learned that. So
that's gold digging behavior number one. Give them the mall test.
So wait, you go to the mall and what happens? She's like, I don't want to look at anything.
No, I went. I got pesos. I got a kid a little toy, like I said I was going to. Mm-hmm. I went to the supermarket because I need drinks and food and stuff.
Right.
And we left. The girl didn't ask for one thing. I said, wow, the girl really not a gold digger. I'm shocked. Because the last time I did the mall test, in March when I met the first one.
She was like, let's go.
When I first met her, she had white sneakers and they were kind of dirty. Yours are clean.
These are dirty as hell. What?
That's American dirty. He's talking about.
He's talking about.
They've been walked miles. They brown.
Those are pretty damn clean to me. I have a thing with my woman. Even if she's not officially my woman, she can't have dirty sneakers. Because my woman is kind of like a reflection of me. So
yes.
I can't have my woman walk around with dirty sneakers and I'm walking around with brand new shoes.
Guess what?
You know what I mean?
No dirty sneakers for you. Okay.
No dirty sneakers.
Excellent.
So
if you're a Colombian woman that lives here in the United States and single,
please call Gerard at 1-800.
Applications.
We save the host. I'm kidding. So good.
And you'll get some new, fresh, red bottom shoes. No.
This is horrible. Okay, so.
Okay, yeah. So the first trip, I brought her to the mall with another friend of mine out there, an older woman. We have a friendly relationship. She cooks and cleans, and she's just very. She
cooks and cleans.
Wink,
wink, nudge,
she's
nudge.
A very sweet woman that we always she brings me breakfast in the morning. She just takes care of me when I'm out there.
That's awesome.
She's got a lot of crazy cousins, so if I have problems out there, that's why I don't worry about going there by myself.
Oh, because
I could just make one call to her, and she's calling one of her crazy cousins, and then I got to pull up in 15 minutes.
Holy shit.
So I just go there by myself. I really don't care. I'm not afraid. Plus, I stay in buildings with security. So if you're gonna go to Colombia, especially by yourself, stay in buildings that have armed security, just to be safe. And go to the good neighborhoods. I've been to the crazy barrios before too, because I'm just a little crazy like that. Mm-hmm. But I can stay in Provenza, the nice parts.
Got it.
But they went crazy in the mall.
So she was like, I'm gonna get.
She went nuts. She got 2 pairs of sneakers. I got her all new outfits. And I didn't even care because I kind of just felt bad.
Yeah,
We had like
yeah.
a kind of a connection at the time, so I just let it go crazy. And even my other friend was like, "Can I get some t-shirts?"
Dang.
I bought her some clothes.
Yo, while you're
too.
up, let me get a pair of shorts. No doubt.
But I kind of should have noticed that in the beginning, that she just went.
The red
absolutely
flag should have been like
crazy at
this.
the mall with no regards to my money.
Yo,
I'm not a rich person, you know. Like if I had millions of dollars, whatever, buy whatever the hell you want. But this girl had no regards for my money.
I had this chick I met. I went to Connecticut, right? We went on a nice day. Then she was like, "You know Drake's gonna be in New York." I'm like, "Yeah, you wanna go to the concert?" Now I'm ready to get some just basic seats. She wants to be able to see Drake's boogers. I'm like, yo, I'm not about to drop 6 G's to get you concert tickets. And
No,
I was
baby.
like, I realized real quick that
What she was
Yeah,
about.
they always want things. Like the girl that I met in October. No offense to her. Plus, she probably doesn't understand what I'm saying right now. You know, she did watch the podcast. She doesn't speak Spanish. I'm fluent in both. So if any of you Spanish, don't be talking no shit around me because I'll know what you're saying. But she wanted her cheeks done. Like they hit your cheeks with like a laser and they make your face skinnier like this.
Yeah,
And
like
I
this.
see a girl like that, and she wanted her lips done. And I said, all right, with that.
All right.
After that trip was done.
Sure.
But I didn't do it for her. I just told her what she wanted to hear because I didn't want to hear no crap. I was on vacation. And then after that, I was like, I just bailed on her and just stopped talking to her.
Ghosted her.
I didn't ghost her. No, I said goodbye. I'm not rude like that. I don't ghost people.
I didn't know if you're
I just think
Catholic.
it's rude to do that, to ghost people. Because then you're leaving.
Ghosted people.
Well, it depends. If you had some kind of connection with them
It's different.
and dated
Yes.
them, to
Yeah,
ghost somebody,
yeah,
in my
yeah.
opinion, is very, very rude.
Yeah.
Even if you never met the person, I mean, I guess if you ghost them, it ain't that bad. But still, I like to be polite and just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry.
This
I'm
isn't
not
working out for
interested
me,
right now,"
blah, blah, blah,
or
blah.
something.
Gotcha.
Because then, especially if you actually dated the person, you're kind of leaving them without closure.
Yeah, which
And
is
I've been in
horrible.
that situation before, like where women have just left me, and I've gotten no closure at a situation. And
Yeah,
you kind of
that's
feel like
true.
crap for like weeks.
Oh.
It usually doesn't take me
Gerard!
He got a heart.
I feel so bad. Fuck these hoes. Wait, so let me ask you a question. So
a lot
now,
of them are not good. A lot of them are not good.
or speak English. So let me ask you a question. So
Be careful, gentlemen out there. A lot of bad women out there.
The number one thing I was going to say to you is, okay, so now you go to the mall.
Uh-huh.
Shorty doesn't take anything. What you're like, am I in the Twilight Zone? What
yeah.
happens then? This is like crazy. This
I was
is
like,
never heard of.
I said, I'm
He
coming
goes to
back
town
next
hall.
trip with a ring. This is my wife.
I'm coming back next trip with a ring.
Not next year, next trip.
Next trip. I know, I said that. Let me say something. What I would ask for in the mall? Food, because I just love food. Anyway, listen, enough about me.
Nothing, yeah.
So, okay, so now, did things work out with this girl? No. Yes? Oh, so this is the girl.
Yeah, it's a girl.
Let's go into this. Okay, so tell us.
Chismosa, you Chismosa. They call you Chismosa. in
Chismo?
the
Hey!
countries.
What? Why would they call me that? What does that mean?
Look it up.
Chismosa.
Like a gossiper.
Alexa, what is?
Like a gossiper.
I am not a chismosa.
Like
That's
like
like-
not, what do you call that? A woman that, like, somebody wants to know everything.
Spill the tea.
Oh, nosy, like just.
Yeah, like a nosy gossip.
Oh my.
That's what a chismosa is.
I would never be a chismosa.
She's chismosa.
That doesn't. Hey.
For all the Latinos out there, she's chismosa.
That adjective does not. That adjective does not suit me. Never do that.
It's okay, B. Let's do some chismosando.
I don't know what your fingers are doing. Take it easy. I don't know what the fuck.
Chismosas conmigo. Talk to
What?
me.
What?
Chismosas conmigo. Talk to me.
No comprende, and I'm done.
No entiendes.
No entiendes.
It's like your gossip.
Actually, if you're speaking in the
understand,
first
but I'm
person, it's
literally
no
not.
entiendo.
No entiendo. I'm
See?
learning. We got
Look,
Spanish lessons
girls
going
learning
on.
Spanish and everything.
This is the best day of my life. Let me ask you a question. Okay, so now you go to the mall. She's
Yeah.
great. You're like, I'm coming back with a ring. Did you leave and come back, or you're still there for this? Okay.
No, I was still there for like at least another few days.
And then you were like, listen.
I extended my trip.
You were like, I really like you. I'm feeling you. What do you say? Like, how did this progress?
I already told her I was coming back with a ring. We were instantly in love. The first day she told me she loves me,
Whoa.
and I was kind of like a little freaked out at first.
Yeah.
Cause I was like, how do you love me so fast? But we were talking on the phone for like 2 months before that. And I
Okay.
guess I am a very easy person to love. But by the end of the trip, I was kind of like in love too. Like I was like, this is like the real thing. Like, especially after I gave her the mall test, I was like, this
Yeah.
is like the real thing. She's like a real like woman. And she's like super sweet.
So one was like
more traditional. I like more traditional. Nothing against the modern woman, but like I kind of just want a woman like eventually have kids and a family with. That's kind of like a homemaker.
So
like
she's
in the
home, she's
olden
cooking,
days.
she's cleaning, she's doing the whole dance.
Yeah. The whole
Okay.
time there, she was cleaning. She cooked me. I gave her the cooking test
What's the cooking test? Tell me about
to
that.
see if they can cook. So we went, we got
So
some
you're like,
chicken, some rice.
Make me some food. I'm gonna test it out. Like, is that what, wow?
But I asked her.
Is that what happened?
No,
I'm learning so much right now, guys. I want to like should be taking notes. This is like amazing.
No, I asked her politely, like a gentleman, "Can you cook dinner tonight?" But I did tell her this is one of your tests.
She probably was like, muy bien. Listen, so now did she make dessert? I'm one of those. You know,
I was a
really-
dessert.
This fucking guy. All right, so now.
I even got her saying this fucking guy.
Oh.
You sound like her now.
Fucking guy. Let's look. Let me see. I feel like we have some comments.
She don't know many English words.
Oh, no
Knows this
green
fucking guy.
Maltese. Thank you guys for joining. Okay. He's right. The gold diggers try to get as much as they can all the time.
Thank you.
Okay. Don't get him in trouble. What you doing? Come on. Talking to me? Yeah, cooking and cleaning, that's good. Okay. So we
She's trying to get
got
me in trouble, this woman.
I'm not. Okay, so
Troublemaker.
11 out of 10, he's
Real
cooking and
troublemaker.
cleaning. Get with the chismosa. So, okay,
Why
so
wasn't I
with that
seeing
being
it?
said,
Go ahead.
how do you, like, when do you see her? Like, how does this work? Like, this is like,
Well, we talk every day on what do you call it? WhatsApp video.
mm-hmm.
So we talk for like another month, I guess you could say.
Because, like, when is the next time you're going to see her?
Well, I go back like every other month. kind
Oh,
of
okay.
thing. Yeah.
And you stay for a month or no?
Nah, I usually
Stay
like
for
I
a little
was
bit.
like when I was looking for my wife, I'd stay like 2-3 weeks. But now I found her, like usually 7 to 10 days.
Got it.
3 weeks is kind of too much because with a 3-week getaway, I'm completely off my gym routine, which you know a lot about. You're a fitness trainer.
Right,
Completely out of my routine.
yeah. Yeah, kind of like,
And then it takes me like a month just to get adjusted
back.
back to real life.
got it.
So
Okay.
I try not to go away from one like 9-10 days max.
So,
9 days.
all right, guys. So let's go over the test. So we've got a mall test,
The
food
mall
test.
test.
What's like? There's no other
Cooking
test.
test?
The cooking
Oh, there's
test.
plenty of tests.
So I want to know because like,
I was giving a test the whole time.
so we were just being tested. Okay, got it. So now, the next question I have is, all right. So you're seeing her here and there, whatever. How did you like meet anyone in her circle, like family and friends? Because how can you kind of trust that she's, I don't know, being loyal and like.
Well, we talk
Holding it
like
down.
during the day, at nighttime.
Does she have a job?
She has a 5-year-old kid. She takes
Why
care
are
of
you
the
making
kid.
this up? Oh, she does have a
She
kid.
has a
She only has
5-year-old
one kid.
Yeah.
How do you feel about dating like women with kids?
Normally, I don't like it. Honestly, my patience is very low just to begin with.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of how do you say it? Kind of like you.
No, this guy's comparing everything to me.
You seem a little.
This guy's not like
you
me.
seem a little crazy and high strung like me.
No. What the? Okay, but what does that mean? I mean, kids are high strung too.
I just, for example, I love children, but I like for example, my best friend has 2 kids. I'll go over there for like a couple hours, and after that, I can't take no more. I gotta get out of there. I like
Oh
silence.
my god. So now, this is my question. So now she's gonna move here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming with the kid,
Obviously, yeah.
right? So now you have a whole family.
You know.
No more drawer time. Like I guess by himself so much. Like how do you feel about like now you're sharing your
It's
space?
okay because when I want my own space,
Yeah.
they can go upstairs and I'll go downstairs, and
Got
that's
it.
fun.
So
Or vice versa.
okay, so now is the father of the kid like in
No,
inside?
the father of the kid is not in his life.
Okay.
Also, the max child support you can get in Colombia is 300,000 pesos. If you do the math, it's about $70 a month. So it wasn't even worth it for her to bring the guy to court because he's very toxic. She said, "I'm gonna have a toxic guy in my kid's life for $70 a month.
Yeah.
It's not even worth it." I said, "Don't worry, he's gonna have a great father when he comes to the United States." So I talked to the kid on FaceTime too. I got him a little Nintendo Switch. He plays
Nice.
Mario Kart, and at this point, I'm 38.
It's a boy, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 38 years old, so to date a woman with a 5-year-old isn't so bad.
No.
At least he's not like, no offense to babies and them, at least not like a crying baby that I gotta hear like all day long, which would just drive me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I want to have at least one of my own children.
Right, so you're gonna
Maybe in
experience
like
that.
a few years. You
Right,
know?
but so you'll be like in your 40s dealing with that. Are you
Yeah.
prepared for that?
I mean, not right this second. I said I at least gotta wait at least 4
He's
years.
like, I gotta wait.
At least 4 years.
I'm just saying the crying doesn't like get less because you're older. I'm just wondering like how that dynamic will be.
Well, because I'll be out working.
Okay.
And
okay.
she'll be home taking care of the kids. The way, it's supposed to be. Not the way this modern society is.
Now tell me, what do you think modern society is? Like, what are some? Have you tried? So this is my question: have you met any females in the U.S. like that? You were like,
of course I have.
I tried.
I'm 38 years old. Of course I have.
All right, calm down. All right.
I mean,
you're bagging ladies. All right. I'm just wondering. I'm wondering if, like, you know, I don't know. You didn't have to go and fly. Like, what if you were like went down the street, you met a girl at a bar, and you were like, all right, she's cool, like. This and that. What's the modern day society aspect that you're talking about?
Well, obviously, it's very obviously what goes on in today's world. They want to feminize the men and masculinize the women. And a lot of times, the world is very expensive, so you need to have both working spouses. So I understand why in some families both spouses work.
Okay, that's
and
fair.
even like one of my good friends, like his wife has a great job, and he stays at home with 3 kids most of the time. And he just works like part-time as a bartender at night.
And I could agree with this. Like in the relationship I'm in, like we reciprocate each other and balance each other out. Like, you know, she works as a full-time nurse. You know, I manage my business, so it's like our hours are different than traditional ones. We have a 5 and a 6-year-old. So it's like she
So
gets up
cute.
at 7. I wake up and I'm making up the bed, to get breakfast ready. Her parents are there sometimes to help out, but then in other situations, she's reciprocating. Like last night, like I'm like done, and she brings up a load of laundry. I folded a couple of pairs of underwear while I'm still under the covers, you know. But it's not in that traditional sense. It's like, oh, she's home cooking, cleaning, child rearing, all that. I'm out breadwinning, and we financially meet each other fairly balanced.
So you have a 50-50 relationship financially?
I want to say right now she's definitely making a little bit more bread than me.
You will once the podcast blows up, which is going to help you happen.
But
thanks,
we, you know, some of that she has a stable income. I have a volatile income.
I got
so
you.
there are days I go out and I'm like, I make what she makes in a week in a day, you know, and then the following week, like, I'll take us out to eat, but I don't really make that much money.
Well, at least
get
your
that.
woman understands that, because a lot of women in modern society will really make you feel bad for that as a man if you're not bringing in a certain amount of income.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women like that will make you just feel like you're not manly.
She definitely has not pocket shamed me once. You know
Well,
what
you're,
I'm saying?
you're a very
nice.
lucky
That's
man,
very
'cause
good.
I
And-
find a lot of American women do that.
One of my bills is actually girlfriend tax because she doesn't carry around any cash. She only does credit cards. So she's like, I'm getting my nails done. I need money for the tip. I'm like,
Here you go. So we have a few comments. Let's go over the comments. So Josh said, get them pregnant and don't go back. He said, yeah, you have to make sure there's no other sugar daddies. Probably talking
Thanks,
about
Josh.
me.
Great advice.
The boys are watching. Let's see. I'm very traditional. My family raised me traditional. I don't see any other life. This is John Rampage.
We have something in common. I
That's how it's done. 50-50 is hard.
Yes. Thank you, John.
Facts.
Me and John have a lot of same
big
viewpoints on
G.
stuff. I remember.
John Rampage said
We were going back
facts.
and forth
big
on Instagram once on a comment section of something.
Cool. Oh
forgot.
my god. Okay, so I just have a few things to say. So I feel
Seems like you have a lot
like
to say.
no.
Go ahead, hit me with it.
I feel like yes, you are in a position where I could see the reasons why you would want to go to Colombia to get a more traditional woman. I understand that. I feel like women in the U.S. I mean, I feel like also too we have to like work hard to have the things that we want. Okay, there's 10 minutes left. Awesome. Work hard to have the things that we want. So I feel like sometimes that energy can come off very strong. However, maybe that's not how they want to be treated at home. I think that's maybe like a kind of like a facade, a mirage. Like they want to be a certain way and appear like that at the bar, but every female wants to be kind of like coddled and like taken care of in a certain way. I feel like that's different for everybody. I do feel like some women nowadays take it to the extreme,
Yes.
where it kind of ruins it for everyone else that may not feel like that. You know what I'm saying? They overly do it, so then it's like, you know, the girl who's like kind of masculine because she has to pay for home bills, whatever. It's like, oh, you're gonna be a certain way, and it's like, you don't even know me. Like I mean, I know what you're assuming, but it's not.
She doesn't allow herself to be vulnerable.
Correct. So yes, but also like if you want to be, so we have to think about something. When you're vulnerable, that opens you up for someone that may or may not know you to literally step on you, like just like a bug. So, I mean, most people aren't going to be that vulnerable because they don't want to get hurt. So I don't really blame someone for not being that vulnerable. But in any sense, I feel like you are correct. Listen, if you want a traditional kind of way of life, there it is, and that's great.
To each their own.
To each their own, absolutely.
What else do you want to ask me?
My other question I was going to ask is, what would you say to a guy that's like, yo, I went to Colombia, I didn't get this, I didn't have this luck, like, my boy went, they got killed. Like, what do you say to the guys that happens to? Because that does happen.
The number one rule I learned when you go to Colombia, no das papaya. So if you got like a gold chain or something, you got a nice watch, you don't wear it to Colombia. Not unless you're with a mob of people, because they will try to get you. You also got to know where you're going. You don't go to certain places, especially if you're by yourself at nighttime. Just stay out of certain places. You really gotta know how to move. You stay in places that have security. Like the first time I went there, we didn't have any security in the building. It was actually kind of stupid. But I was with somebody that was from Colombia. I was with one of my boys. It was alright.
So you felt safe.
Yeah, but like 3 trips ago, I was in a building just for like 2 nights with no security by myself, and I wasn't scared, but I was a little on my toes, like ready for anything.
You're a target to begin with. You know,
yeah.
I don't.
Especially as a white dude.
That's what I was gonna say. Like you
with blue eyes,
you're a white American. You dress well, so they could tell. You know, just on your wrist, that's a couple $100. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, oh, me. You have 2 small dudes, and they call the big guy in just to freaking tackle you down and rob you.
Oh yeah, they when I was in Cartagena, they killed the guy.
Really?
While I was there, yeah. He had a big diamond chain, and the guy said, "Give me a chain." He said, "No, I'm not giving you nothing." And the guy, the American, really beat the guy up bad, the Colombian kid. And one of his friends just came out of nowhere, pow, pow, killed the guy, took his chain. They caught him in like 15 minutes, and the chain ended up being fake.
Oh, wow.
The guy died for a fake gold diamond chain.
Wow.
But he just didn't want to give it up. He was just not getting robbed. That was his mentality.
Really quick, so John Rampage said, being vulnerable doesn't lead to people getting hurt, is a weapon. Being vulnerable is a weapon for a person to use against you. Prove me wrong. Oof. All right. John, calm down.
I kind of agree with John, because I've been vulnerable with certain women in my life. The wrong women, obviously, and they'd use it against you, and that's stomp right on your chest, like you said.
Yeah. I feel like not everyone's like that, so it's hard to, I don't know.
You just have to be careful who you're vulnerable with.
Yeah.
Open up too. Yeah,
but also, like, but also have, like, a little bit of a guard up, I guess. I don't know. Not too much too fast.
You always have a little bit of a guard up.
Yeah, like, not too much too fast. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. You have a whole lot to say.
No. I'm trying to think.
Unless we're gonna go overtime in this podcast.
I don't know. Sam will kill me. So what would be your final words? All right. Obviously, we have to be safe when you go to Colombia.
Be very safe. Be very careful. Don't ever accept a drink from anybody unless you opened it yourself. Unless you're at like a very nice restaurant. Let's say you're at like an apartment. You're hanging out with people. Pour your own drink. Always keep your eye on the fridge, because they have something called scopamine. They put it in the drink. They'll drug you out there. And they'll just rob all your stuff. And a lot of gringos are overdosing off the scopamine and dying. Like I got like 20 people that sent me messages. The same article, 9 white people dying in Colombia in 1 month off dating apps. And I said, all right, because they're stupid. They don't know how to move. It's not scaring me at all, fellas. I'm going to be back there next month.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for your concern.
Yeah, psycho. All right, so listen, they were probably just watching out for you. I mean, the news, you know how that gets. So final comments and thoughts about I mean, you're happy relocating for love. I feel like he's very happy in his situation. So
It's not for the weak, I'll tell you that. If you're dating a woman or a man from another country and you gotta wait for visas, which takes at least 10 to 12 months, it's not for the weak-hearted. 'Cause I lose my mind certain days. If they're from like another part of the country, or maybe a country that you don't need a visa, to me that's easier because you could just get them a plane ticket, and then you can go visit them, and it's kind of easy. Eventually, maybe one of you has to relocate, in my opinion, because how are you gonna have a relationship long distance like forever, and it actually be like a serious relationship?
yeah.
In my opinion, it's just not gonna work out. You need that physical intimacy. You need to like be together, not every day necessarily, but you need a decent amount of time together.
I could agree with that last part because, like, I was thinking we're so used to like instant gratification and stuff
Right.
like that. Where if you go to like medieval times and like historical stories, like the man be at war for like months.
Yeah.
And it comes back, his kids are like 13 and stuff like that. And then you got these like military wives where like even here in the States, like
Yeah.
you're gone for like 5.5 months. You come back for 2 weeks. You're gone for another 5.5 months, and it's like some people are built for it. Other people like, I haven't seen you in 3 days. Are we even dating anymore?
Yeah.
I agree.
I guess my closing thoughts are I feel that you need to really assess your relationship, like if it's strong or not, because I feel like also like for the relocating for love, like that's like the last step. Like before you relocate, like you need to make sure you can talk to this person. You have respect for them, right? Like if someone's calling you and the phone is all you have, like answer the phone. Like,
I agree, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like even just like communicating, like how they communicate, how you communicate.
Especially with long distance.
Especially
Very
with long
important,
distance,
yeah.
right? And it's like, how do you have to think about it. I feel like it's great because in a way it's like, how do you make this person feel special and they're not next to you? That's hard to do in the very beginning. I think also too, the relocation aspect happens so like, kind of almost like later down the line where it's like, we've been through all this, like we've been back and forth, like finally we can be in the same place and we can live together and things like that. I feel like at that point, it should be like the cherry on top. Like everything like foundationally should be settled. And some people will say though, I will tell you, some people will be like, relocating for love is absolutely insane. Like why would you ever do that? But because you're kind of like picking up your stuff and you're moving like wherever for someone else. But at the same time, I feel like it also matters your situation. Like if my kid, let's say if I had a kid and they're 18 and they're like, Ma, I'm gonna like marry this girl. I need to relocate to California because I love it. I mean, that's crazy. But if you're in your late 30s and this woman is hopefully, you know, in her 30s, whatever, and you're like, all right, we've been like talking, we see each other, blah, blah. It's been like a few months. Yeah, it is time to relocate. So I feel like it's situational.
It also depends on your financial situation. So
True.
if you have one person, let's say, that makes $200,000-300,000 a year, and you got one person that makes $50,000 a year, well, the $200,000 person, $300,000 person a year is not the wise one to relocate, in my opinion. The one that makes 50 should relocate.
Because they make less.
Yeah. So you gotta think about that. For people like yourself that have two working
I get what he's
spouses.
saying. He's saying like the person who makes who makes more money, the person who
should
doesn't
stay.
make as much money should relocate and go to them.
In my opinion. Or you're
I
both
guess
gonna
because
be
of their
poor.
work.
Or you're gonna be
Yeah, we don't
poor.
want
It
that.
depends. I mean, maybe like the person that makes more money lives in some place that they hate, and they're like not mentally stable per se. They just want to get out of there. All right, so maybe you ask your job to transfer you, and you go move there. If you can get a transfer, or you can line up another good job.
and it depends on what
similar
you're doing.
income, then you go
Yeah.
there. So it just depends, I guess, on each individual situation also.
I got you.
in my opinion.
I feel like, should I read the last few comments? I feel like we have some comments. Can you screenshot it? I feel like I want to see someone else. All right. Well, that concludes, guys, Relocating for Love. To close it up, just make sure that your relationship is strong. I think that's what matters the most. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as your relationship is strong. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, Gerard, for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
It's been a
Hopefully, we'll
pleasure.
see him
Thanks
again
for
soon.
inviting me.
Remember, you are loved. You are cared about. Sam really cares about you, and so do I. We'll see you next time. This is an Unscripted
See you
Podcast.
next week.
See you
All
later.
talk, baby.
All talk.
Peace. See you later.